It's little pandas, episode 1. Ching ching, bitch.
Oh my god, it's a happy panda.
How cute is that? I am in love. Mine says Happy Panda. And you don't understand. I made a video with this once, and people were like,
where do we buy them
yeah,
from?
where do you get the cup from? So, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Someone gave it to me, and I'm
Oh, there we go. It's
obsessed.
an idea for merch. We need panda cups.
Yeah, and I love the size of it.
It's very. I like a big coffee cup.
Exactly.
Panda said what?
I love that we're doing this. If you don't know Sam, you will get to know her soon. And we've met actually, where?
We're going to get into that story. I think
Okay.
first episode of Panda Says What. So my name is Sam and I host podcasts mainly in different spaces. So this is all new for me. I know nothing about fragrances and perfume. I have worn one brand for a very long time until I met you, and then you just keep spraying stuff on me. My significant other now has like 7 fragrances because of you, so fantastic.
Correct.
But I'm curious because you said to me, we've got to do this podcast. It's fragrances. I can't smell them when I'm listening to someone talk or watching someone talk. So why do you think a podcast in this space is so important?
So I actually wanted to do this because it actually shows a lot of a raw reality because let's be honest, social media can be quite, as a disguise for what's really going on, and it's just a front. And I thought a podcast would be such a good idea because, number one, South Africa doesn't have that, especially in the space in our community, because I'm trying to build a huge community here. A lot of people in the beginning didn't see that or don't understand it because it's weird to go online and want to just go after sales. And that's a whole other discussion, instead of creating a community and they then support and buy into what you have to offer. But not only that, it's about knowledge. So when I started with perfumes, you really need to dive into it. And that's what I did to create, number one, get knowledge of the products, the different houses, and it's a lot, different notes, etc. So I thought doing this podcast would be so clever to dive into different aspects of the perfume industry as a whole, and not only chasing sales but creating community, because that's what I stand on. So we created this whole community called Pandaholics. I don't even know. I asked in the live, I can't remember which live it was. I asked like, what are we going to call ourselves? and I know there was some said Pandemonium and some said Pandaholics, but Pandaholics stuck, and it just we went with that, and it's cute,
I enjoy it. I mean, I come onto your lives again, know nothing about. I just like the way you giggle and laugh, and I think that there's like exactly, there you go. I felt that immediately, and the community was so friendly. We met because you had another business, and I know that the fragrances is now taken over completely.
Correct.
And I was desperately looking for a very specific toy because I like to collect weird things.
We all do.
And I found your website, and I will never forget this because you had a WhatsApp line on the website. And I had spent a long time deciding if this was a good idea. Then I purchased, and I didn't hear anything, and I panicked. And I remember sending you a WhatsApp being like, oh no, I hadn't purchased yet.
Correct.
I wanted to check that you were, like, it was a real legit business. I wasn't being scammed. And I remember WhatsApping you, and we had like a very brief conversation, and you were very direct. And then I was like, I'm going to give you my money. Please don't be a scam.
That was your exact word.
And you replied, this is not a scam. And I was like, that's what a scammer would say.
That's exactly what you said.
And that was how we met. And I just love that there is a passion that you have. And I've seen it so much with the fragrances as well. Like, this is genuinely something, because I think a lot of the time we see people selling stuff online, and especially nowadays where they come on and they're like, buy this thing, we have this business, buy this thing. Correct. But you were passionate about fragrance before you started selling it. Like, this is something that you love.
No, for sure. And it was about what triggered me first about this whole Dubai fragrance house, because you need to understand how this works. It's a whole pyramid way of building it, because what we had for many years is, we know there's niche, ultra niche, there's indies, we'll get into that, perfumist, and then there's perfumists behind this brands, and then there's designer brands, and then there was this. I think it's so clever. Why it became Dubai Authentic Fragrances is because everything comes from there that we know, and they created their own houses. And you need to understand, because as we have Valentino and Xerjoff, etc., in one line, Dior, Versace, etc., from the designers, we have the same setup and vibe in Dubai Fragrances, where you have also houses, Latafa, Maison Alhambra, Paris Corner, Al Absar, etc., etc., etc. So this is this whole new world that was introduced. But what they did is they went into an affordable market, and that took the world by storm.
Do you think though, so, and again, I know anyone watching and listening, they're already perfume addicts. I'm coming from a space where all I know is what was served to me on like adverts, right?
Correct.
And stuff. So in my mind, there was always this thing of like, you had those brands that you've mentioned, the Versace's, the Dior's, Saint Laurent, and then anything that wasn't 2,000-3,000 rand was obviously a dupe, and it wouldn't last, and it wasn't
Or a
good,
fake.
or a fake,
Or a triple A.
we were constantly told that,
True,
right? And
true.
so you had this moment where, I know for me, when people started talking about Dubai fragrances, it's like, well, is it any good? Like we've been programmed to think that these won't be good fragrances.
So true. So, and we're building on that every single day. We need to work on that. We're fighting an industry where, yes, for a matter of fact, we are dealing with fakes. They're already faking and duping what is authentic Dubai. So, but that's a struggle with all brands.
I think if someone dupes your brand, I think it's a feather in your cap. Like, I think when someone tries to dupe you, you've got to say like, well, I'm obviously creating something they like.
It's funny you say it. Can I honestly tell you, I had dinner with a few of the brands now, and was very blessed to, especially with our visit to Dubai and meeting the owners behind the brand and etc. and going to Turkey and having dinner with them. And they're not phased about it, but they also take that feather in the cap. They really do. They're like, oh, you're duping us? Okay, great. Just get our name out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but creating awareness of that's where the issue comes in, because and people think they're not doing anything about it. They actually are. But you fight your brand, and some of these brands, especially from Dubai, deliver to from 80 to 170 countries worldwide. So for them to lawyer up in every single country to fight is an endless task that will never ever keep up, if you know what I'm saying. But what the most important part is building on the fact that you need to stay authentic, and where you source it from, that is the most important part, because in that you can stand behind on. Because you can't stand behind anything else if you don't know what the originality is of the authentic products. You know what I'm saying?
What was the jump though? So I'm just curious, because you're a fragrance addict.
Collector.
You're collecting. It's insane, and then you suddenly go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell. Because that is, I mean, I like lots of things, but I've never gone, you know what I should really do? Like, I should sell this. It's never really
Okay,
crossed
so
my mind.
what happened was actually, it's the weirdest thing. I wanted to, and you know this, because the first thing you ever did whilst you were unboxing your first ever order from Panda Pop SA was the whole toy Labubu site when Labubu boomed. And you got your first box, and the first thing you did, you opened and you said, oh my gosh, this box smells amazing. So that's where it started. I wanted to connect the experience of unboxing it with a scent, because that lasts.
I still have. So let me tell you a fun story. This is Panda law. Pandaholics might not know this. So you used to box all of your things, and there was this incredible smell in the box, and everyone would comment on it. And then you could buy it. Like, it was a fragrance that you could buy for a limited time.
Correct.
And I bought it. And to this day, when I wear it, I love the smell of it. So that smell gives me joy.
Correct.
And I've realized that it's the whole experience and the joy I got from unboxing. But if I wear it, that is a fragrance for me. Like, that brings me happiness. I don't care what anyone else feels. When I smell it, it's great.
Yes.
But that smell and that fragrance, I still think is great. And people smell it and they always say to me, that's really good. Like, everyone loves it.
Everybody's obsessed with it, and it's not a secret. I mean, we didn't gatekeep it. At the end of the day, it's called Angam, and she's the sole purpose for my whole journey that started because I was looking for anything in South Africa that had this specific scent. And funny enough, it is inspired and a dupe schmoop of Burberry Goddess. But this is Burberry Goddess on steroids, and that's how I found
I
Latafa.
love that
And that's
smell.
how I found the inspired by, and then she started my whole journey of this. And that it's the weirdest thing. And then I got to a stage where I like, okay, well, wait a minute, because I did assist someone to build her company with that, and she's still going. And I wanted to, whilst helping her, I said, okay, wait a minute. Then there was the fakes coming into play, and then you had to go on camera and convince your audience or the public that this is real and this is fake, this is what you need to look at, and this is what not. But I saw it wasn't enough, because then they started losing trust and blind buying. That's where the issue came in. And I thought to myself, wow, then the best thing to do here is to actually create a platform, aka a store, having from 500 to what we carry today on display, 1,700 something items in store, so that they can come and experience it. Because I'm always about the experience, and that's how I always take in life, because I take every single person I meet is for me an experience, because they come from different backgrounds, they have different experience, traumas, etc. in their life, and if you can just make them happy for that small amount of time, even though I'm a lot, I'm overbearing a lot, so some of them go, okay, wait, is he gonna hug me, touch me? What is he gonna do? But it's just who I am. So I wanted to take that experience and put it into a platform, and now that's why we have Panda Perfumes today, and build on that, and then started the journey of being an e-commerce, having a platform for people to come and actually smell and experience what you have to offer, and then selling an authentic product, and then where does it lead from there? And that's how I built on it. And then TikTok came into play. And it's actually me watching, obviously, my very good friend Daniel Renee. If you don't follow him, follow him. He is amazing. He is very out there. He is a live content creator that he promotes himself as, and not a content creator, because he goes alive more than anybody I know in my life. He's very out there with his life, and it's amazing to see, because someone who lives like that authentically is, trust me, it doesn't matter, like him or don't like him, like me or don't like me, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's power within itself. So with that being said, then TikTok came into play, and I will never forget it. It was his first birthday live, because his birthday is 25 July. And I will never forget my first time I go on TikTok, and I saw him doing a 24-hour live selling perfume. And I thought to myself, what is this? I couldn't believe it. And then from there, it struck me that this man is busy, creating an empire, and it's amazing what he does. So I went to TikTok, and then I started doing lives. And a live went from creating flash sales and bundles. So it's a copy and paste of something that already worked in America, but to bring it to South Africa was hard, because we didn't have access to the newest stuff, etc., etc., etc. So that made it a little bit harder for us. But as that started to grow, momentum started growing, you can tap into sole distributors that owns brands, all these brands in South Africa, and go to them and say, listen, this is what we have to offer. This is what I do. And so my Sunday live start. And every single Sunday from 5 to 9, I go live. I have not skipped one. If I have, it was because I was traveling. I still went live, but I couldn't sell as I do. And we do flash sales and bundles and have fun and have competitions, and it's in giveaways. It's loveaways, whatever we call it, loveaways, because TikTok don't allow us to say giveaway. But and that's how it led to now only having your feet or your opportunity planted in many vast demographics of the industry, and not only, hi, I go up to sell you something. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for everybody. It consumes you completely, meaning 7 days a week. The store's open 7 days a week. I'm here 7 days a week. I go live. I have my subscribers Wednesday now that I'm starting, and now it's this, and before you know, it's crazy. And then you need to communicate to the brands. We own 4 brands under our umbrella already that distributes to South Africa. So it's big. It's becoming big, and but it's hard work. But I really love what I do.
I love the fact that if I come to the physical store, so there's 2 things here that I'm going to talk about again as someone who's now like exploring this world of fragrances and learning so much about it through you and through your passion. That is exactly what it is. Because like I said to you, my fragrance was Saint Laurent Black Opium. I never moved from it. My boyfriend said he liked it. I liked it. That was it. I never really delved outside. I think I got one Sol de Janeiro as a gift, and I was like, this is fine. But yeah, that was a bit pricey for what it is. Yeah. And then
is the bottle really plastic? Am I right?
It's literally it's, you know what it reminds me of? I'm in so much trouble for saying this, but whatever. I'm not in this industry, so I can actually say whatever
you can say whatever you want.
It reminded me of a toilet bottle spray. And I was kind of like, I like the smell of this, but this feels a bit ridiculous. And then they came out with the jellies.
Yeah.
And I think those jellies are such a waste. I'm going to say it's a waste of money.
Waste.
So
agree.
I was given them as gifts for my birthday. And the jellies for me, you can put them on, the fragrance is gone within an hour, 2 hours. I can't smell it. And that thing costs me, it was given to me as gifts, but I went and it's $500-600.
Correct.
Tiny jelly doesn't work. Also, you have to be so careful because if you rub it too hard, it just breaks. And then I would get this is about as much as I know about fragrance, right? But I think the thing that used to irritate me, and I've now discovered this whole new world, was you would go online onto Instagram, never on TikTok, and there would be this beautifully curated reel of someone, the perfume bottle is on the gorgeous silk, and then you see the most beautiful girl who I'll never look like because she never looks like she eats, and I just do not have time to style my hair like that in the morning. And she's spraying this fragrance, and then she runs outside to her golden Labrador, who's super well behaved, and then gets in her car with the Louis Vuitton. I don't know, but that's what it looks like.
Oh, Dolce!
Yes.
I mean, diving from a cliff into this blue waters.
And this is a South African girl that I then see 2 days later and realize that the bag is fake, and that I found out that she rented the shoes or whatever else and doesn't even live in that house. Sorry. But this was my experience of fragrance. So I'd be like, great. And then it would be like, I love my whatever fragrance, or my, let's go with Sol de Janeiro, seeing as we're just bashing on them. My Sol de Janeiro, it's so great. It smells like summer. That does not help me.
I know, it doesn't.
And then I was like, okay, whatever, perfumes are weird. And also, that's so cool that you get 7 for free. But I'm this girl that only has my one fragrance. So
no, you stick to that.
I don't really jump around. I don't understand this. I'd move on. And then I started watching your lives because you're just entertaining. I'll be honest, at the time, I was like, I don't really give a shit about whatever you're selling. But I'll come and watch you because you're fun. And then the way you would talk, but also what I loved is the way your community talks, because clearly everyone there loves fragrance, loves perfumes. And I think that this is what's so important is how times have changed in South Africa, because people are now educated.
So true.
And if you are passionate about it, you've got this group of people on TikTok. And yes, you're telling me it smells like summer, but you're also telling me all the other undernotes. You tell me the things that I desperately want to know, which is if I leave it to settle, it's going to smell like this.
Correct.
So it's going to smell like this now. And then I started learning. I've always known that about fragrances, but I never had the words to explain and express it. And I'm suddenly going, oh wait, now when you talk about something, and then I see people in your chat adding their insights into that as well.
How educated they are.
Correct. Suddenly, while I'm watching you, I can smell that fragrance, and I can go, okay,
identify.
That might be good for me.
Yes.
That's probably not going to be, that's going to be a little bit too much for me. I knew straight away with Midnight Sun, when you guys were watching it, I was like, and explaining it, I was like, oh, this might be a little bit too much for me right now.
Correct. You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
And I've seen people develop like that, and you won't believe it. It's fragrance is such a journey, and on every single different skin, depending what you go through in life. Are you stressed or you're not? It's doing damn nails, and it lifts because you're stressed or whatever, and it's not actually the product's fault. It's the same with fragrance. It's a journey. But it's not only a journey of actually smelling nice. There's such a big demographic here with actually this to buy perfumes, because it is affordable, actually, and that's our slogan. It's very important to understand that when I go onto a live, I really believe in what I'm selling, number one. Number two, it does not mean I wear everything, because obviously I can't, not with these thousands of bottles here. It's impossible, and that's without what I collect at home. I mean, it's crazy. But do I stand behind and take every fragrance for what it is? Absolutely, because there is definitely someone that attends to that. That's where gourmand started. Photorealistic you see it, you taste it before, and then you smell it like that, and you would think to yourself, who the want to do that? Well, Victor and Rolf just released the whole Bonbon series, and that's after the whole gourmand hype, and it's still going. So it will never fade out. Now we get florals, gourmand, fruity florals. We get a flormand, that's florals and a gourmand. So that's how the industry develops. But that is what the designer niche, and they won't tell you this stuff. They don't educate you on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes Dubai fragrances so much fun.
I also like that you're quite honest, because I've been in the store where you've said to me, that won't work for you. You won't like that. Like,
Correct.
you know, or you'll be like, I'm going to try this, but you might not like this. Or
I'm very honest.
I've picked up a bottle because the bottle's pretty, and you've gone, that's not for you. Right? and you've been, I don't really like that one. Like, that fragrance is not, it's not going to be the right one. Like, and I think that's important. But I'm curious how, because this is something, again, so we've spoken, and we'll have a whole episode about this, I'm sure. Like, I was speaking there about the content creator on an Instagram reel doing that whole, they're obviously paid, or they're getting the perfume for free, so they'll say whatever you want. You're in a very different space, because those people are marketing to me who knows nothing. You have an entire community of people who are experts already. So you can't bullshit them.
You can't. They actually come into the store already educated on what is a dupe for what's inspired by who, and it's because of the access of online. I mean, there's so many influencers around the globe, and there's really huge names that everybody follows. And funny enough, 2 of them are actually South African. Did you know that?
I was going to ask you about
that. That is the weirdest thing. I don't know what is wrong with our fucking noses, but let me tell you, there's 2 South Africans. One lives in Texas. His name is Noel Smells. He's a bodybuilder guy, and he's one of the biggest content creators on all platforms. And the same goes for a lady called Shama that's situated in Dubai. And she met Daniel, also has a connection with him, met him before, but these 2 people has put South Africa on a platform, and a lot of people don't actually, they say they're from South Africa, but I wish they would promote it more, because they're an international level. It's beautiful to see, and that inspired me, you know, to say, listen, if they can do it, you can do it too, you know, type of thing. But yeah, with me, you are correct. It's quite different being an influencer, content creator. Where do you place yourself? I don't place myself anywhere. I don't see myself, it's very different for me, because I see myself as creating content. I think I influence. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Also, I just be me.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Me. Like, I've now I bought 2 fragrances from you for my significant other.
And you're full of shit.
And I am full of shit.
She's so difficult.
I was also very scared to buy him. I think it's quite an intimate thing of buying. He's got his fragrances that he had always worn. I bought him one on your recommendation. He loves it. Bought him another one when I came here recently. And then for the first time, I was like, okay, I have that original scent, and I will take a risk, and I will now buy. And I am difficult. Like, I am so scared of moving away from one smell.
Boundaries, man, boundaries.
We're working on it.
We're working.
If you have a suggestion, a fragrance that you think I should try, put it in the comments. Like, let us know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll expand my horizons outside of my tiny box of 3.
And trust me, they're going to chime in.
Yeah.
They're going to chime in, trust me.
Oh, well, maybe we'll do a whole try and match the fragrance to Sam episode.
And that would be awesome.
Quite cool. But this is, you've influenced me. So I know that you've influenced one person, right? Which does make you an influencer, is what I want to say.
Yeah, I just don't stand up every day in content. For me, it's fun for me. It's not something where, number one, I don't know what I'm going to say, and I just take what the fragrance takes me on a journey and experience it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm lucky enough to be born with a good nose. So it was hard for me in the beginning, because you need to educate yourself. Noses are built over time. It's like someone that does CrossFit. I can't go and run the Comrades today. Are you mad? I mean, I won't do it any day. But the point is, you can't.
I would never run the Comrades.
You have to train for it. But I work with the fragrances every single day. It's my job, you know. So I take it quite seriously, but also educating myself, because that's a whole other ball game. And also, there's so many fragrances out there that I see other content creators review and talk about them. Fragrance houses, especially from the US all the way through to Mexico and Argentina, etc. And we don't have it here, so I can't talk about it. I can't say this is inspired by this, and then there's 10 inspired by us, but we don't have access to that in South Africa. So I make it relatable to what we have to offer and what we can offer. So, and I stick in that lane for now, you know, until we have broadened our horizons. That's what we're trying to do here at Panda Perfumes. I mean, me and business partner Victor, we're really trying to introduce new brands, and people are hungry for it. They're so hungry for new brands and expanding that, and we can see it and we can feel it, you know. As we, with our travels, we also saw the huge potential that it allows. But yeah, everybody knows the import in this country is not easy. Nothing is easy ever, but it's not easy. So getting back to your question is I don't see myself as an influencer or content creator. I love to do it. I post it, I build a community, and I go from there. But it's also because other than other content creators where they can just go on and say, I don't like this, it's shit, it smells like this, it smells like that, it smells like... I do that too, but just in a more kinder way, because I feel I don't have that authority yet to do that, number one. And number two, and I'm not saying that I don't do it. Trust me, if I say it's shit, it's shit. You know that. You've just said it. I do it, and I do it on camera as well. There's a lot of shit that I don't like, and sometimes I don't even review it because I don't like it. And that's just my opinion. But with that being said, I have a little bit of a different task where wholesaler, distributor, reseller, influencer, content creator, it's hard. It's a lot.
It's a lot of hats. And
It's
now
a lot.
So here's my thing. Now you're adding podcaster to the mix.
What now?
What? Okay.
I mean, what?
So let's talk about the plan here, because I love this idea that we're going to be speaking to people that actually understand fragrances.
Correct.
I'm coming in as the noob because I want to learn, but that's also to sort of guide the conversation a bit. But like some of the things we've spoken about, and I think we should share it here, what are the goals? Because I know that there's episodes that you want to do, things that you want to educate people on. So where do you see this going?
So number one, I wanted to do this to educate. Number one. And what can they take away of it? Just to people, one that knows the industry or think he knows, me.
You're about
and
to
one
learn
who does and one who doesn't, and just take it from there. And I want to build on that. And number one is education, and number two, bring in different opinions and having hard conversations with them. And that's from influencers to we're trying to get suppliers and other stores on board, and I'm sure we will, and different demographics, so that we can see how we can build a bit and see where the episode leads us to, because I think this can be very fun. And then we can even branch out and give attention to different houses, and we can chime into that, because that's going to be fun.
I'd love to learn about that. So that's kind of the steps we're going to go into, learning about the different houses, how it all fits together. I think the process of getting your favorite perfumes to the country is such an interesting one as well, and some insights.
So interesting. So interesting. Building. It's not about sales for these brands anymore. When they started, you need to understand something about this brand. They started in 1957, 1963, 1977. I'm talking about these houses. It's generations that they've been building. We just didn't know about them until they started doing it. And thanks to TikTok, it happened, you know, first YouTube, and then obviously expanding, and then TikTok was the biggest one because it was the fastest way to spread the word about what this world is. And then it boomed. But now we see that they are not in it for only sending quantity and moving stock. Now they want to build brands. They also want to be recognized by the Skins and the Arc stores and the leading platforms that's out there in duty frees and et cetera, et cetera. So that's a whole other series we can do, because that's how firmly they believe in their product, because usually these are dupe houses. They duplicate, inspired or smoop whatever of already existing DNAs, twisting them, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're starting to produce their own damn DNAs. And that makes them more legit and gives them a space in the world of perfumery. So it's interesting where we're going. You know what I'm saying? And one of the houses that's already doing that is called Lataffa, and they are.
I have one of their perfumes. I bought it from you.
Exactly, and you love that perfume.
I'm wearing it right now.
Exactly. I fucking smelled you. I smelled you when you walked in. So no, I just I believe a perfume is so, and we can dive into that in other episodes. It does stuff to human beings that's so needed in a very hard time in the social space, in just general expenses, etc., in living. You know what I'm saying? Some it gives confidence, some it's soothing, some finds it comforting, some it's a dopamine fix. Most of us, so most of us. But at the end of the day, everybody has their different journey, and some is just collectors because of the bottles. I'm not kidding. Some is just collectors. I have kids, the 13-year-old coming into my store, telling me what's a dupe and smoop of what. It's crazy. And I'm like, where's your mom? And he's like, she's in the car. I have her card. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome for you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I actually live for that. But yeah, getting back to, I wanted to do this series also to give more about connecting with him. Because I'm just normal. People that come and visit me is that's the part that I want them to see. We're just normal humans. We have our own shit. It's not like I never stress and I'm always like happy and go lucky. It's not reality. You know what I'm saying? So I think this podcast is also good for that. To just sit down and talk about the real stuff as well, you know.
Some of the struggles, I think, in terms of, and especially in our specific to South Africa, I'd also love to talk about, because I do think that there is a bit of a us and them situation that arises. There isn't Dubai fragrance houses and designer ones and they're at war. That's not the case as well.
Not at all.
I'd also love to learn, this is something that I'd love to learn now, about what you suggest when it comes to layering, because this is something that I've learned recently, and mixing and matching.
That's the best part.
So we're going to do so many of these things, but I think it's also because your pandaholics are so passionate.
Oh my God!
They've got to contribute. Like, what do they want to see? That long format type of content that maybe they don't necessarily get on your live, that we can dive into and help them understand.
Oh, they would love that, and we will ask them for suggestions as well for episodes and content moving from what they want to see. I think it will be a clever way to build this and take it further, because I really, you have no idea. I never knew until one incident on my lives where I didn't know the community was as strong as they stood up for you without, you know, you even knowing or were aware of it. And I don't want them to ever be malicious towards anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I embrace everybody. This Saturday we had influencers here. I love to do that because everybody thinks we're chasing sales. We're not. We're not. That's just one part of it. But that's just the business part of it. But that's not what our goal is here. Me and Victor's goal here is to create this very welcoming, safe space and for you to come and enjoy it. There's people that come and smile here after work if they had a bad day. They come and smile and they leave happier going. And that's already, for me, amazing. I don't expect them to take out their money when they come. It's not what it's... We didn't create that space for that reason. So, and it takes a lot to say it, you know, because I'm successful in my ways, he's successful in his ways, and we decided to do this together, and that's where we built on it. And we want to keep building on that and never forget where we come from, you know, because this will branch out into something big.
Into something big.
We hope so.
So if you don't want to miss out, you were here for the first episode, you need to subscribe, follow. Also, I think we would love it if you could give us reviews over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so more people can see the podcast. And obviously, if you are subscribers, you get early access as well to a bunch of content.
Listen, to go and subscribe on TikTok is going to give them so much advantage. From on our online store to in-store to early access to limited drops, etc., that we're busy with, as well as content like this.
I have one last question.
Yeah, it comes.
How much is my bank account going to suffer if I keep doing these episodes with you and I get more and more involved in perfume?
I feel so sorry for you. My heart goes out to you. No, listen, trust me, when you dive into this world, it is an addiction, but a good one. Trust me, you get something out of it. We pour and we smell nice and we don't care.